The IEC in the Free State says it's all systems go at its voting stations across the province where voter registration is underway and running as expected. This comes despite the little disturbance overnight when some makeshift tent stations collapsed due to strong winds coupled with rain in the Bloemfontein area. Nevertheless, the day has proceeded without disruption so far. SABC News reporter Konelo Lekhafola and video journalist Thompo Mashao are monitoring voter registration around Bloemfontein.
Thank you so much. We are at the Free State IEC Registration Op Center. It is located here in the Bloem industrial area called the Hamilton. This is the nice place where everything is happening, and they are overlooking all the voting districts and registration stations all over across the province. We are going to be talking to the chairperson of the IEC in the Free State, Ntate Jabulani Chabalala. This is the first day, remember, of the first drive of the registrations for the upcoming national and provincial elections 2024. And with me, we are having Ntate Chabalala, who is better placed to explain to us about everything that has been happening since the opening of the day today. Ntate Chabalala, we are with you. We are live on the SABC News. Please just tell us about how your operations are working and how have things gone so far since we started the day.
Yeah, perhaps I should start with yesterday. When we knocked off around 9 o'clock, everything was in place, especially with regard to our temporary facilities, the tents. Only to find out before we will go home, they were blown away. But our service provider were on standby. They managed to pitch them again. So today we started well. Well in the sense that we managed to open all stations, though at various times. Others opened just before 8 o'clock, others slightly after 8. And registration is progressing well as we speak. No major incidents have been reported so far in our op center. So as and when any incident is reported, we'll attend to it expeditiously.
Isn't it something that gave you some nightmares about the wind that we have seen last night? And yes, of course, some tents that are here around in Bloemfontein, I have seen when I was driving around last night, they were blown away, they were down because of that little storm that happened. Isn't it something that gave you hiccups?
Well, we got worried, but not that much, because we knew that even though there are no tents, our gadgets, the VMD, still works. The only thing that we could worry about is people, turnout of our staff. But they were there, fortunately for us, although not a full complement of staff, but where we need to supplement with other people, we deploy from one station to the other. So everything went smoothly. We were worried, to answer your question directly, because that storm took us by surprise. And all tents but one were blown away. But when we started at 8, they were all up.
About the registration itself, but focusing on today, how many people would you expect in various stations across the province who will come and register?
Well, I can't answer your question in absolute terms. I can only surmise to say yes, we're expecting more people to come to our registration stations so that they can check. Remember, we're not only opening the stations for registration, but we also open the registration voting stations for checking whether the details are still intact, whether the details are still correct. And we also open the station for people who are migrating for one reason or the other, so that now they change the particulars of their details in the voters' roll. That's the whole purpose. So I can't answer your question, like I said, in absolute terms to say 50 people will come, no. But we're expecting more people to come.
Based on the people who are coming physically to the stations and the ones that are checking online, those numbers, which ones do you expect more to happen than the others? Maybe, for instance, with the ones who are coming physically to the stations, would you expect more of those who are coming physically than the ones who are checking online, or vice versa?
Well, we invested a lot of money for this registration weekend to happen in terms of our campaigning, in terms of our publicity, in terms of sensitizing people that there will be registration weekend this weekend. So we're hoping that the numbers are going to be more than those who are online. Remember, online can continue for as long as until the elections are proclaimed. They can continue. But registration weekend, it's only for this weekend, and we might have the second registration weekend, but that will depend on the president and the powers that be, the commissioners, to be specific, yes.
About security, how is security organized in terms of people who may want to come and disrupt and cause havoc in some stations?
Well, I'm sure when you enter this center, you saw SABC members. We have a good relationship with SABC, and as we are speaking now, they have their own jog at 10,111. So they are ready for any eventuality. And there are those that are patrolling. We don't have static police placed at each and every voting station, but there are those that are patrolling. They've got their own op center, which is called Prof Jog. So we are covered.
That's Ntate Jabulani Chabalala, who is the head of the IEC in the Free State Province, giving us some information with regard how things are arranged and preparations for today and of course for tomorrow as things stand.